Governor Massey.
Thank you. Information. I want to be sure that you get it all. I just want to say we're happy to be here. South Carolina's the best place in the world. And I want some of whatever Senator Campbell. Bring it to me. So I do have some official words here, and we'll have to answer questions, and you'll hear from others to fill out the picture of what we do. But this is we're making a great step forward. As you remember, we had a group called Accelerate SC. There was a task force we put together that played a vital role in our response to the COVID-19 pandemic. The task force was comprised of volunteers from virtually every sector of our state's economy, along with officials from the state, county, local agencies, and organizations. And we met a number of times in order to find our way through, to get the facts, and find our way to best respond to the pandemic, and I believe that we accomplished that. And the proof of that is evident around the country that South Carolina is doing so much better than other states where they took a different approach. Last year, the task force, Accelerate SC, produced official recommendations and guidelines that allowed us to take that very targeted and limited measures to combat the spread of COVID-19 without shutting down our state's economy. And as you know, and now as people all over the world, particularly businesses looking to expand, know South Carolina never closed down. We were among those that did not, and the results are dramatic. In addition, Accelerate SC conducted a thorough and complete review of the Federal Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, known as the CARES Act, for the purpose of providing expenditure recommendations to me as governor. Recently, the Accelerate SC Task Force, same one, just a few less people, conducted a similar review of the state's $2.4 billion share of what is called ARPA, which is the American Rescue Plan Act, and they gave me their expenditure recommendations. These funds, $2.4 billion, present us in South Carolina with a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make big, bold, and transformative investments. We're not going to waste this opportunity. We're not going to waste this money. We're going to put it where it'll do good for now and generations to come. So we must seize this moment and set our state on the proper course, a good course, a positive course for prosperity and success that will last for generations. So today I'm proposing that we invest $500 million, that's $500 million from the American Rescue Plan Act, to transform our water, sewer, and stormwater infrastructure in rural South Carolina. The ARPA law specifically identifies water, wastewater, and stormwater infrastructure as eligible activities on which to spend and invest this money. Our state's rural water, sewer, and stormwater infrastructure, as you know, is becoming old and outdated. In some places it barely functions, and it's expensive. According to the Rural Infrastructure Authority, known as RIA, the average age of a water and sewer system in our state is 47 to 50 years old. Many of these systems have far exceeded their useful life. As the Accelerate SC Task Force reported, smaller water and sewer utilities, in particular those in the less populated areas of our state, struggle to pay for improvements. And these improvements are those that would protect public health and the environment. The cost is significant and often beyond the reach of those trying to improve. In our state, there are 262 public community water utilities and 201 public community wastewater utilities, many of which are operated jointly throughout the state. Most are owned and operated by local governments or commissions of public works. Roughly 1/3 of the water and sewer systems are owned by special purpose districts or authorities, and 10% are owned by nonprofit corporations. The South Carolina Rural Infrastructure Authority, again known as RIA, was established wisely by the General Assembly in 2012. For what purpose? To assist communities with financing for water and wastewater infrastructure, as well as stormwater drainage facilities. Since 2013, the RIA grant program has funded 419 infrastructure projects across the state, totaling more than $174 million, directly benefiting small and large communities in rural as well as some urban parts of the state. The RIA will administer this additional $500 million in ARPA funds and will prioritize new infrastructure grants for water, sewer, and stormwater based on these following priorities. Number one, economic development for poor or poorer counties. These counties are designated as Tier 3 and Tier 4 counties by the South Carolina Department of Revenue for the purpose of awarding job tax credits to businesses who locate and invest in South Carolina. They've been doing these ratings for years. The job tax credit ratings are based on a county's unemployment rate and their per capita income. The poorer the county, the higher the dollar figure awarded per job tax credit for each job a business creates. There are 12 Tier 3 counties in our state and 12 Tier 4 counties. And when I refer to poor, I'm talking about money and income and not the talents of the people.
Amen.
Amen. Water and sewer capacity is a critical factor when a business is deciding where to locate and where to make a significant investment. This leaves most rural counties with no real opportunity to bring jobs to their community because they cannot afford to upgrade or build a new water and sewer system to meet the capacity of a prospective business. And there are prospective businesses that would love to come to these areas if only they had this system. Second factor, public health. There are currently 161 water and wastewater systems operating under enforcement orders with the Department of Health and Environmental Control, which you know is DHEC. This means that DHEC has determined that that system is out of compliance with state regulations. Most of these communities, most of them, but not all, are in rural South Carolina and do not possess the resources or tax base to upgrade or replace their faltering water systems. Third factor, regionalization. Regionalization. Much like the efforts to consolidate school districts, which we have done over the years and some recently, in order to gain efficiencies, save money, and to improve the educational product the student is receiving, the state will financially incentivize large municipal water and sewer systems to connect to small and faltering water and sewer systems, while financially incentivizing the smaller systems to relinquish local control over their systems and revenue.
We realize that we have aging infrastructure across South Carolina, but we also realize that the cost of rehabilitation of these systems a lot of times outpaces the ability of the ratepayers in these cities and towns to be able to afford to pay for the repairs. So access to these types of funds can be transformational to cities and towns across our state. We also know that investment in sewer and wastewater protects our environment in South Carolina. And as a tourism-based state, it's important that we protect our environment. And last but not least, we know at the association that investment in water and wastewater capabilities is pure economic development. A lot of times we forget about water and wastewater because it's underground, but water and wastewater infrastructure is as important to economic development as roads and workforce. I've been in local government for over 25 years. And Governor, I can say not once in my career have I ever tried to recruit a business or industry into my town to locate on said town. So this could be transformational. We know that a lot of our cities and towns, they may try to access these funds to rehabilitate their systems, but we also know that they may access these funds to install new water and wastewater infrastructure that for the first time may allow them to attract business and industries to their areas. That is truly transformational. And so at the end of the day, when you look at this proposal and it addresses health, safety, the environment, and economic vitality, we are certainly happy to, we think in one fell swoop that is certainly a great day for South Carolina. So thank you very much.
County has about 50 miles of river. We're bordered by rivers on the east and the west. We're going to see a lot of activities right on the other side of this building. We're going to see activity with the Whitewater Center and the park and all that. But, you know, infrastructure is needed all over South Carolina. I work in the real estate business, and I'm down in your area in Chesterfield County a little bit, and I can tell you, it stops a deal quicker than anything. Todd, as you said, nobody comes to look at your septic tank, so that's not right. And I'm old enough to remember when Richburg and the success of I-77 in Richburg really started, and the reason it's there is there was that one sewer pipe down to Monetta Mills, and that's where it got started. And now we have miles of sewer pipe here that just need some repairs. So anyway, but I can also say, as part of the legislature, we will vet this carefully, and we will make sure that we don't waste the money, as the governor has said. We don't want to waste any money, certainly not. So appreciate y'all coming.